So, so when I woke up this morning, I saw in my recommended feed a video of world-renowned Super Auto Pets player Northern Lion doing this tier list. It's the worst ways to die tier list, which I can't scroll up far enough for you to see it. But that's the name of it. It's worst ways to die. And I said I would love to do this. I'm not even going to watch what he puts where, because I think I would like to be. I wouldn't like to be influenced in this. I'm going to give my own thoughts and opinions on this. There are a lot here that I just don't know, so I might have to look it up. I know some of these are like Harry Potter stuff. I don't know where it is. Or maybe it's been removed. I don't know. Also, I don't even know what this says. Turning into a vampire and exposed. Oh, okay. Turning into a vampire and exposed to sunlight. I think the Harry Potter one has been removed. Keel hauling, I don't know what that is though. I'll have to look that up. But let's get us started with the crucifixion. So crucifixion, that's going to take you a little bit to die up there, you know? And it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a bit. Actually, in fact, let's take a Google search. How long does it take to die from a crucifixion? Because this is good info to have. So this says death usually after 6 hours to 4 days. That's a pretty huge margin there. So you can be up there from anywhere from 6 hours to 4 days. Yeah, I'm on a list now. My next search is how to do crucifixion. Uh, why did why is my task manager, my taskbar available to the public now down there? I don't remember that being there. Not that I have any secrets or anything down there, but it's not really what I'm going for visually here. So 6 hours to 4 days, that's a pretty wide margin. But overall, I feel like a crucifixion is pretty painful. Now, my question is, how often, a crucifixion could be done in a couple different ways, I believe. Like, you don't have to be nailed to the cross such as Jesus was. I think you could just have your hands tied up there. In fact, I think the nails were like a little bit of you know, a little bit of pizzazz since it was Jesus. They're like, we'll show him. We're going to put nails up there in your hands. Let's just go to the Wikipedia page for crucifixion. Oh, crucifixion facts. Okay, this is about Jesus. I don't want to know about Jesus's crucifixion. I just want to know about crucifixion in general. Let's see. Detail. Cross shape. Instrument of Jesus's crucifixion. No. Nail placement. I don't know. Length of time required to reach death could range from hours to days depending on method, the victim's health, and the environment. So I would imagine if you're a healthier individual, it's going to take a bit more. The environment, I guess, if it's raining, that's probably not going to do wonders for you. There is scholarly support for several possible causes of death: heart failure, arrhythmia, hypovolemic shock, acidosis, dehydration, and pulmonary embolism. Death could result from any combination of those factors or from other causes, including sepsis following infection due to the wounds caused by the nails or by scourging that often preceded crucifixion, or from stabbing by the guards. They got stabbed too. That's like, this is not enough. So is nails, the nails are like a common thing. Okay. Part of a series on homicide. Okay, interesting. Anyway, overall, I think crucifixion's pretty bad. I don't think I would put it down here in hell's a better alternative though. I'll put it in let the sweet nothingness embrace me because I would not that would not be my choice of death. Burning. That's pretty bad. It's going to be really painful, but I mean I imagine it might be pretty quick. It depends. Like I said, a lot of these are probably going to depend. In burning, it depends on the flames, how quick you go. Because getting burned, that's not good. I don't know, but is being burnt on the same level of a crucifixion? This is the tough one because we're judging these by things that we're not going to be able to experience. Burning alive. I guess it doesn't say burning alive. I could be asleep. Put me to sleep and burn me to death. I'd probably wake up. I would probably wake up. No, I think burning either way, in either state of being, that's not good. Honestly, I think I'm going to put this in the same thing. Let the sweet nothingness embrace me. Breaking wheel. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little, this is going to have to take a little bit more research again. Because I'm unfamiliar with a breaking wheel, I think, but I think I get the gist of it based on what I'm seeing here in the image. Not Breaking Bad, but breaking wheel. Execution wheel. Let's see. Breaking the bones of a criminal or bludgeoning them to death. The practice was abolished in Bavaria in 1813. Wow. It's very progressive of them. They'd be taken to a public stage scaffold site and tied to the floor. The execution wheel was typically a large wooden spoked wheel, the same as was used on wooden transport carts and carriages. Sometimes purposefully modified with a rectangular iron thrust attached and extending blade-like from part of the rim. Holy cow. Honestly, I should probably be very careful about looking at this. Holy cow. His bones look pretty out of shape in that. Yeah, I don't know. This is pretty bad. This one might be, honestly, I don't know. I'm tempted to say that hell's a better alternative because that sounds like it's just going to take a long time to kill someone that way. Does it say anything about how long it takes? Let me see. Time. No, I'm not seeing anything about how long it takes. How long does it take to die from a breaking wheel? Days. So this is not like the crucifixion where it could take a couple hours. This is days worth of agony here. So I think I'm, but I don't know. You're not. Okay. If you have the thrusting iron thing that I was talking about, that's pretty bad. Because that's going to be even more. That's going to be even more pain in addition to having her bones broken on the wheel. That sounds pretty awful. But is it worse than burning? I'm I'm gonna put it in hell's a better alternative. Yeah, we'll put it there for now. The electric chair. Honestly, this one's it's probably pretty painful, but I mean, I have a feeling, I'm not an expert on the electric chair, but I have to have a feeling that at least in the later times when they were executing people with the electric chair, they had to have been giving them some sort of sedative, right? Something to make it less painful, maybe? I don't know. But I feel like it can't be as painful as something like a crucifixion. Hello, Redacted. I'm doing great. Uh, in the middle of an incredible tier list, worst ways to die tier list. Honestly, the chair is honestly not bad at all, and compared to some of these at the bottom here. So I'm just gonna say mildly disturbing. Like I wouldn't want it, but it's like not that bad compared to especially some of these other ones that I'm seeing. That's for sure. Drowning. I don't know. Okay. I actually have a pretty unique perspective on this because as a child, I almost I had a brief encounter with drowning. In my grandparents' pool as a child, I walked into the deep end before I really could swim well at all. And I almost didn't come up, but my mom jumped in and pulled me out. And I didn't come anywhere near close to death, that's for sure. So I can't really say for certain, but it was not a fun experience. I think slowly losing your breath and not being able to breathe and just having water gush into your mouth and your nose while you're trying to get any air is pretty bad. Is it worse than the electric chair? I think it'd probably take longer to die from drowning than the electric chair. So I think I'm going to put drowning in mid, right below the electric chair. Not as bad as crucifixion or burning though. Drowning feels like you're burning on the inside, I've heard. That makes sense. That makes sense. If your body is just unable to get any air, that's like, your battery. I think my list is mostly going to be how quick do you go out? Cuz I feel like all these are going to be pretty painful. It's just a matter of how quick does the pain end? Cuz if the pain ends quick, then that's better. Firing squad. I feel like that's pretty bad. Just getting shot a bunch of times, but that's got to be quicker than. Is that quicker than the electric chair? I'm not sure. How I guess it depends on how good of a marksmanship you have on your firing squad. It's like if I don't know, where do they even aim for the firing squad? Is it just like your chest or your head? I'm not gonna look this one up because I honestly don't want to see, but I don't know. It's gonna be pretty painful, but as far as I'm aware, getting shot, you go pretty quick. The fear that might be in you when you're about to get shot at is probably pretty terrifying. So I think maybe that goes on mildly disturbing, especially because of the theatrics of it all, where you have a whole lineup of people that have guns pointed at you, Granted, I think most of the time when firing squads have been used as execution, you got like a bag over your head or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's not a fun way to go. Gas chamber. Not a good one. Is it better than a firing squad? I don't know. I think it might be worse. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about the time. I think it's definitely a longer death in the gas chamber compared to firing squad. I feel like it might be on the same time scale as drowning. I think gas chamber is about on the same. And it's about the same place as drowning. I'm gonna put it in mid. I'll put it in mid. Guillotine. Now that's quick. That's very quick. It's just one and done. It slams down, your head is off, and it's game over. This might be the quickest to go. It's pretty inhumane, though. I mean, granted, all these are inhumane to kill someone. But something about removing someone's head is just a special. I don't know. It feels like especially inhumane. But I don't know. This might be the greatest way to go if you're going to get executed by someone on this list. Maybe honestly, if you want to get killed, you're still alive for 10 seconds after your head is off. I think. Okay, let's. I don't know how I feel about doing this, but let's look it up. How long does it take before you die from a beheading? Decapitation. Physiology of death by decapitation. Decapitation is is quickly fatal to humans and most animals. Unconsciousness occurs within 10 seconds without circulating oxygenated blood. Cell death and irreversible brain damage occurs after 3 to 6 minutes with no oxygen. Is this suggesting that you could save someone after they've been decapitated if you act quick enough? That doesn't seem likely. 10 seconds. Last stream before jail. Hell yeah. I'm about to get a knock on my door. I was just doing a tier list. Have you ever heard of it? Yeah, I think guillotine is the best to go. Best way to go here so far. Keel hauling. Okay, I don't know about this one. This is a new one to me. Never heard of this. Let's see. Oh, I closed out the incognito tab. Keel hauling. A punishment inflicted for various offenses in the Dutch Navy. It is performed by plunging the delinquent repeatedly under the ship's bottom on one side and hoisting him up on the other after having passed under the keel. So it kind of sounds like waterboarding, right? Keel hauling inside the deranged torture method used in the Dutch Navy. This just sounds like drowning with extra steps. A more cruel drowning. It's like drowning 100 times. It's like you come up and you think you're able to gasp for air, but then you're back under. Let me see. How long does it take to die from this? How long does it take to die? Death. The common supposition is that keel hauling amounted to a sentence of either death by extreme torture or minimally A physical trauma likely to cause maim. Okay, well, I'm not getting any information on the length of time before death here. But I gotta imagine it takes longer than just, vanilla drowning. I feel like this is pretty bad. This feels like torture. Which is like, that's where I'm leaning. Like the top is just getting killed, and then as we move closer to the bottom, it's like torture. And then death. So I'm gonna put keel hauling right here. But here's my thing. I wouldn't be as afraid of keel hauling as I would being burned or being crucified. So I think I got to put it at mid. Might change that. Lethal injection. Okay, this one's no question. This is probably the best way to go. This is probably the best way to go. Because that's basically as painless as you can get here. Which makes me wonder if I should move guillotine to mildly disturbing. Because it is mildly disturbing. And if I have guillotine here next to acceptable, does that mean how does that look on me? Am I sitting here going, we should bring back the guillotine? Because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just basing this on time. I would rather have the lethal injection than get guillotine, that's for sure. I don't know. What is this? Poena Cole? I have no idea what this is. Is this Harry Potter? Poena Collier. Under Roman law was a type of death penalty imposed on a subject who had been found guilty of patricide, which is the act of killing one's own father or stepfather. The punishment consisted of being sewn up in a leather sack with an assortment of live animals, including a dog, snake, monkey, and a chicken or rooster, and then being thrown into water. What? What? This is psychotic. Why this specific punishment for patricide? It's very bizarre. Okay. The punishment may have varied widely in its frequency and precise form during the Roman Empire, or during the Roman period. For example, the earliest fully documented case is from ca 100 BC, although scholars think the punishment may have developed about a century earlier. Inclusion of live animals in the sack is only documented from early imperial times, and at the beginning only snakes were mentioned. Yeah, the dog seems pretty unnecessary. I can't imagine that happening to me. It's so obscure. That would never happen to me. Dude, I would never get Poena Cole. Couldn't be me. Yeah, that is messed up to put some animals in there. Like, what the hell do they do? What'd that dog do? What the dog doing? This is just a weird one to me. So, how do you die from what's the point of the animals? Cuz I mean, I guess the snake would bite you and kill you. But you're already in a leather sack and you're put in water. It just seems needlessly cruel. Like what? I'm guessing that the animals are thrown in there to weigh you down in the water. But like I already said, we're just getting rid of some animals for no reason. I think all animals are useless. I bet the snake wouldn't even be venomous. Probably not. Because why would you need it to be venomous? Because you're already throwing the guy in water. He's going to drown, basically, right? Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I need to read further into this. Okay, can I get off Wikipedia? Show me something else. The worst Roman punishment, according to amusingplanet.com. Very amusing. Throughout history, man has shown extraordinary imagination in inventing penalties and sentences for crimes committed by fellow man. The Romans, in particular, had an almost theatrical quality in the way these punishments were doled out. One of the worst was reserved for patricide, the killing of a parent, in which the prisoner was placed in a sack with several live animals and thrown into water. The penalty of the sack. Dude, this image is insane. Holy cow, look at this. I mean, it looks like the monkey's biting his arm. Is this a chicken? Or a rooster? It looks like its claws are gripping into the guy's leg. Snake is biting his arm, his hand up here. I'm not seeing a dog in here. Just give me some information here. Tell me how long it takes to die with this. What is the death modem? You know, what is the mode of death here? Is it an animal killing you, or because here it looks like he's floating down the river? Like, what's going on here? That doesn't make any sense. How would you float down the river with that much weight in the sack? Dude, this is too much reading. Just tell me. Just tell me what the hell is the death here. Okay, it doesn't seem like the internet's gonna help me here. Can I ask ChatGPT? I'm gonna do it. ChatGPT. You may not have been able to teach me, or I may not have been able to teach you how to play Super Auto Pets, but maybe you can tell me how you die with a pina colada. A pina colada. I'm just going to assume that that's how you pronounce it. It's pronounced like pina colada. That makes sense to me. What is it? This thing is not working. Here we go. All right. ChatGPT, how do you die? I'm going to get banned from ChatGPT for this, aren't I? How do you die? How does... Maybe I should ask in like in a historical lens. How did one die from the cruel Roman capital punishment known as what is this even called? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, here it is. Poina Cole. Pina colada. Here's what it says. Pina colada, also known as the punishment of the sack. I already know what it is. The weight of the animals and the person inside the sack would cause it to sink, suffocating the condemned person. Okay, there we go. That's all I wanted. Yeah, in parentheses, it's for my history project. So you would just be weighed down and then drown, is what it seems like. The exact details of how one died from this punishment may vary depending on the circumstances, but generally the condemned person would die from suffocation or drowning. The animals inside the sack may also have attacked the person and bitten them, causing additional injuries and pain. So they wouldn't have died from the animals. They would have just been tortured a little bit more. So this is just drowning and torturing animals and having the animals torture you. This is like worse. This is worse in general because you're killing additional animals that are completely innocent bystanders of whatever of the patricide that this person committed. I don't know why the hell you got to throw in a monkey to die for no reason. Now but the question is, would I rather be drowned or drowned with a bunch of animals? Is it that much worse? I'm kind of leaning towards yes. Because it seems like it would be a prolonged death also, because you're not going to drown immediately. You're in a sack, so you have a little bit of protection. But you also got a bunch of animals attacking you, potentially, while you're drowning. But if the water gets in quick, I think the animals are going to be even more concerned with not drowning themselves than attacking you. So it could depend. But generally, I don't think I want to take my chances. I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards it's about the same as the keel hauling, where it's like drowning with extra steps. So I think I gotta go mid. Quartering. I believe this is the draining of your blood, but let me check just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You know, I don't want to be doing this list with false pretenses. Quartering. No, this is quartering execution. Here we go. Hanged, drawn, quartered. Can you just show me about quartering? The removed organs were burned in a flame. Oh, the rest of the body hacked into 4 parts. While you're alive? That's pretty bad. That might that That's got to be pretty bad. Even though that might be relatively quick. I think that the time that you have left alive while this is happening to you and the pain that you suffer while it's happening, if we make a ratio, the pain to time ratio is probably pretty significant here comparatively. I think this is going all the way at the bottom. Hell's a better alternative. That's got to be one of the worst ways. Scaphism. Is this being put in a coffin and left to die? How is this different than being buried? Is being buried alive just not just straight up dirt? Like no coffin or anything? Is that what the difference is here? Let's see. I'll look this up. Scaphism. Boat. Alleged ancient Persian method of execution. Great, but what else? It ostensibly entailed trapping the victim between 2 boats, feeding and covering them with milk and honey, and allowing them to fester and be devoured by insects and other vermin over time. That sounds pretty bad. That sounds like it would take quite a bit of time before you would be gone. So, letting the birds devour you and other vermin. I feel like you're not going to go very quickly. I feel like this is like a good week before you're gone. Because you're going to be, like, maybe you can survive on some of the water in the, wherever you are, if you're maybe in a freshwater pond. But, I don't know. Even then, it's still pretty iffy. I remember learning about that I got nightmares from this. Yeah, that's a pretty bad way to go. I don't think it's worse than quartering, but I think it's about on the same level as crucifixion. Getting huge crucifixion vibes from this. Stoning. Stoning is also pretty bad because I feel like that's going to take a little bit of time before you're gone. Just getting pelted with stones until you die. That's gotta hurt. That really does. But I feel like that's relatively quick compared to some of these other ones in the middle. But I don't. If I could put it in between mid and mildly disturbing, I would. Because I feel like it takes about. It's not as quick as either the firing squad or the chair, but it's not as long as any of these. Maybe it's about as long as the gas chamber. I'll put it there. Hanging. Hanging, I feel like is relatively quick, right? This one might get me put on a list. Hold on. Google's definitely gonna direct me to help center. How long does it take to die from hanging? Yep, there we go. Call suicide. All right. 4 minutes. That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. Is death by hanging painful on Quora? Oh no, these are all okay. No one wants to answer the question because it's you know, the implication. Is Wikipedia gonna be my friend here? No, I don't want suicide. I just want hanging. Okay, I'm not gonna look this up any further. I'm gonna get. People are gonna be concerned about me. Hanging. Okay, from what I say, it's 4 minutes. That's not long at all. I feel like it's got to be pretty painful. It's not mildly disturbing. Why am I doing this list? I don't know why, but the hanging got me. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't like thinking about that one. All right, boiled alive. That's got to be pretty bad. Is it quicker than being burnt alive though? I feel like it's got to be quicker, but it might be painful. It might be more painful. I meant to say. But I'm not sure. You know, I don't know. I kind of want to put it on the. I think I'm gonna put it on the same level as burning. Should do a more lighthearted one next time. Yeah, maybe I'll do maybe I'll do a candies tier list next. Something nice and fun. Brazen Bull. What is this? What is this one? I don't like the sound of this one. Torture device. The bowl was said to be hollow and made entirely out of bronze, with a door on one side. According to legends, the brazen bull was designed in the form and size of an actual bull and had an acoustic apparatus that converted screams into the sound of a bull. The condemned were locked inside the device, and a fire was set under it, heating the metal until the person inside was roasted to death. That's pretty bad. I think I'm just gonna put that one next to the other burning, the burning type deaths. This one might take longer actually than just burning alive. Now that I'm thinking about it, because you're somewhat protected by a layer between you and the fire, whereas burning is directly on you. With this bowl, you're going to be, first of all, you're not going to immediately be burning. You're going to immediately just be really hot inside the bowl. So you're going to have a period of extreme discomfort. And then you're going to start burning, but it's going to be very slow. This one, honestly, yeah, medieval torture is some of the worst. Honestly, I'm thinking I'm going to move boiled alive down here and then brazen bull down here. Even though I think boiled alive would be quick, the pain that it would just be awful. Room with a gun with this song. This is Ice Spice? I'm honestly unsure about this one. I might just not do this one because I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of this. Room with a gun with this song. I'm also unfamiliar with what song this music video is. I'm familiar with this music video, but I just don't. If you ask me to hum the song, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm just gonna move that one to the back. Sawing. That's probably on the same level of quartering. What is worse? Quartering is probably worse though. But I think it's about on the same level. But sawing might take you longer to die. Because that's less areas for the blood to escape from your body. Yeah, okay, let's move on. Starvation. That's going to be pretty painful. And it's probably going to be more torturous than anything. Of having this desire to just eat, but not be able to. So I think I got to put starvation. It's bad, but only due to the torture, because it's gonna take a while. How long can you go without food? As a result of discontinuing eating, patients can die as early as a few days. For most people, wait, what do you mean patients? Oh, hospice. Oh no. Uh 10 days. I don't want patients. I want an actual person. One can live for 43 to 70 days before dying from starvation. That's pretty quick. I mean, that's not, I meant to say that's a pretty long time to go without food. So you're going to be tortured for from anywhere from 43 to 70 days. That's pretty bad. That's going to be really torturous. I'm tempted to put it in Hell's a Better Alternative because food is like you need that. I'll leave it here for now. And for now I mean probably permanently. Holy cow, there's still so many more of these and I'm like almost an hour into doing this. I'll try and move a little bit quicker. Strangling. That's probably a pretty bad way to go. But it'd probably be quick. Relatively quick. I think okay, it's about on the same time scales these ones, I think. Drowning. It might be more painful than drowning though. But I don't think it's as bad as any of these. Buried alive. Buried alive is pretty bad. But I don't think it's that bad. Because it would mostly be suffocation. I just now noticed this one, disintegration. How do I even judge that? I don't. Anyway, okay. Buried alive. I think that's gonna go there, just because I think that would be, well, okay, hold on. I gotta Google it. How long? How long does it take to die from I guess we'll do from if you were buried alive. $5? What? That's okay. That's a lot quicker than I thought it was. It's definitely not as quick as any of these, though. So I think I got to put it here. 5 hours? I don't know if that's. How long are you suffering, though? Because you're going to have air for a good bit. At what point do you start struggling to get air? It's got to be at like the 2 hour mark at maximum. So yeah, let's say you have like an hour 30 minutes of just laying there, and then after that you're struggling to breathe for like 3 hours straight. You know, I'll bump that down. Poisoning. I don't know, that could go pretty quick. I think you could go pretty quick from poisoning, so I got to put that at mildly disturbing. It's not that bad. All right, I cannot read this one. Turning into a Oh yeah, okay. Turning into a vampire and then being exposed to sunlight. I mean, it's quite a process here on this one. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about fantasy here now. I gotta just being disintegrated by the sunlight, probably pretty painful, but it's gonna be quick, I imagine. At least in depictions I've seen in movies and such. How long am I a vampire until I'm exposed to sunlight here in this scenario? How long do I have to suck blood to live? I don't know. I'll just put that there. Disintegration. I mean, that's about the same. I mean, it's probably just burning alive, but fantasy edition. Yeah. I mean, disintegration. You can. Is it even what's the closest you can get to being disintegrated in real life? I don't know. Never mind. I'm not gonna look that up. I'll just leave that there. Airlock ejection. That's got to be pretty bad. I would imagine that it's pretty painful to go without air, and then you basically like freeze from the inside out, is what I believe I've heard. I think it happens pretty quick though. Like, I don't think you're gonna suffer for very long in outer space, but I'm not sure. I'll leave it there. Fire ants. That's got to take a while to die from fire ants. Like, you got to be stung about 1,000,000 times. Or I guess bitten. My bad. You've got to be bitten about 1,000,000 times in order to die from fire ants. So I feel like that's got to be pretty torturous. How long? How many? How many fire ants would need to bite you before you die? I'm gonna wait. I wasn't even sure if you could die from fire ants. Can you die from fire ants? 30-year-old woman who died of anaphylaxis following multiple fire ant stings. So they do sting? Okay. Fire ants can kill Americans. This is from 2006. How many ants were? The ants that attacked her are called fire ants and are the most aggressive ants in the world, and they're spreading to other parts of the country. Entomologist Mike Rops said that when fire ants attack, they usually cause minor red welts and a pustule that will fade in a couple days. In about 5% of cases, fire ants can actually cause death. In those cases where people have a volatile reaction, some of them actually do die. It's a severe allergic reaction. Throats swell up and people literally suffocate, but that is very rare. So that's the only way you can die from fire ants, is your throat suffocating or swelling up and then they suffocate. So this is just suffocation, essentially. So, I mean, I guess I got to put it on the same level as this. Well, maybe, but I don't think it's going to take as long as being buried alive. So I got to put it there. 300 kick. Now, I haven't seen 300, but I'm familiar with this famous scene. But I'm just going to pull it up and watch it just to get a refresher.
All the God King Xerxes requires is this, a simple offering of earth and water.
Let's just see the kick.
This is Sparta!
I guess my question is, how deep is that, drop? Which I did not gather that data from the video. So I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that it's pretty high up. I'm just gonna imagine falling to my death for this one. I feel like that's a pretty horrible way to go, but you're gonna be over. It's gonna be over quick, because you're gonna probably go unconscious on the way down, depending on the fall, or depending on the height of the fall, I should say. But I think if you have the chance to go unconscious, that's all the better. So I'll put it there, mildly disturbing. Hunger Games. This one's pretty bad because it's going to take place over like a month, right? I forget. It's been a while since I watched the movies and or read the book. But just the idea of being hunted and having to hunt other people to stay alive, essentially, it's a pretty terrifying concept. So honestly, I'd put it at mid. Attitude or altitude matters with the height deaths. Yeah, that makes sense. Hunger Games. I mean, this is. Hold on. Now we're talking about length of time, though. Maybe this goes with crucifixion and starvation, because you might be doing some starvation in the Hunger Games. That's a good spot. Car shredder. That's going to be pretty painful. And honestly, I don't even know if I feel like you might survive that the first go around, the first time you go through the shredder. They might have to put you through again. You might just come out like extremely mangled, and then you're going to have to go through again. And the seconds that you spend on the ground mangled from the car shredder still alive is probably going to be pretty awful. So I'd put that at let the sweet nothingness embrace me there. Medusa turning you into stone. I don't know. I don't feel like that would be too horrible. Because I don't even know what being turned to stone feels like. It could feel great, for all I know. And then like your nervous system is gone, so it's probably not going to be very painful for very long. I think that's acceptable. I think I'd take that. Eaten by a Titan. Now, I'm not familiar with the Attack on Titans anime series, so I don't know the exact intricacies of how they chew up a human being. But I'm just gonna imagine a giant human eating another human. And I think that'd be a pretty bad way to go. It's gonna be very painful because you're not gonna die immediately. They're probably gonna like bite your leg first, and then your whole chest is gonna get snapped in half, and then you're gonna be on the left side of the mouth while you can see your legs on the right side getting chewed up. It's not gonna be fun. But I think you're gonna go quick. I think I mean I guess I would put it on the same level as like quartering because your body parts are being completely destroyed. But I don't feel like it's that bad because I feel like it's gonna be quicker than that. So I'm gonna go yeah, next to car shredder feels right. Midsummer Cliff Jump. Now I have not watched Midsummer, and I'm not gonna look up the clip because I intend on watching this movie at some point. So I will just not know what this is. I assume that someone jumps off a cliff. Uh, do they jump onto something else? I don't know if that would even matter because I feel like regardless of what's at the bottom of the cliff, you're going to be dead. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just put this on the same level as the 300 kick. But I haven't seen it, so I don't know. So okay, I'm just going to leave it off. Molten gold. That's just burning with extra steps. So I'm just going to put it on the same level as that. Table laser. What is it? Is this a 3D printer? What is this? Is it? Do I have to search up table laser? I don't know what that is. Laser cutting. I mean, if you're going to die from that, that's going to take a long time. That's just like an extremely slow beheading, right? I mean, if you like, can you like start, just go through the neck? That's pretty bad. I think I'll put that on mid. It's like a combination of strangling and guillotine. Honestly, though, just because of the longevity of it, I'm gonna bump it down one. 1,000 Years of Death is our last one, and it looks like this is from an anime that I've never seen. I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna assume 1,000 Years of Death is dying over and over again for 1,000 years, and because I imagine you die in different ways each time, I feel like that's probably the worst form of torture because, you know, who knows how bad each death could get. Each subsequent death could get worse, for all I know. I'll look it up, though. Naruto. Okay. The user tightly clasps their hands together and extends their middle and index finger. So it's just a move. It's not actually 1,000 years of death, is it? Using the full weight of their body, the user thrusts these four fingers between the target's buttocks. Buttocks, sorry, it's not plural. You don't have. Well, you do. You got two, but only one set. Despite the technique's dramatic name, it is not actually harmful. The pain is fairly extreme. Huh? So much so it's not harmful, so no one dies from this? Naruto comically leaps into the air, traveling a fair distance. Dude, what the hell is it? I'm not putting this on my list. I don't even know. Okay. All right, there's my list. I'll save that. Name the list. Death. I'm curious to see the community ranking as well. I'm the only one to publish my list? Come on. We need to get people on this. This is important data that we need to be collecting. Oh well. Okay, well now I can go and watch Northern Lions and figure out what he said. I imagine your Google history closely resembles Jigsaw's right now. That's so true.